the downtrend. We have the downtrend. That is when the market is making lower lows and lower highs. Lower lows, lower highs. Lower lows, lower highs. That is a downtrend. Okay, and this time, instead of breaking structure up top, we're going to be breaking structure at the bottom because we are breaking beneath the lows. And because we're breaking beneath the lows, that is a downtrend. Okay, we are trending down. Same thing down here. These lows, and then we break beneath right there. Come back for that retest, but boom, enter there in those areas, and then potentially boom. And that's how price moves when it is downtrending. It's like a staircase. Think of these like staircases. As long as the staircase keeps doing what it's doing here, boom, that's a downtrend, right? And you want to mark up the structure as well. Breakout structure, BOS, same thing. You also want to mark up low first. We have a low, and then price makes a high, and after that we make a lower low, because this low right here is lower than this low, so it is a lower low. And then this high is lower than the previous high, so it's a lower high, and so on and so forth. Lower low, lower high, and then boom, lower low. Break of structure there, another break of structure here. We'll take this one, thank you. Boom, another break of structure there, and so on and so forth. That's how we know. And for the sellers, boom, sell limits. There you go. Boom, sell limit in these areas. And we'll dive deeper into specific areas later on and what you can look for if you want to dive deeper. But for someone with brand new, no experience, doesn't really want to dive too deep off the rip, just doing this alone, you'll be ahead of the curve, trust. Boom, sell limits right there, and potentially right in there as well. Interesting. If and when price decides to continue to make that lower high, it would behoove you to look in that area for potential entries for price to continue this downtrend. If that's where price wants to keep going, it would behoove you to look in those areas. 100. Oh, what's here? Oh, interesting. Oh, what's over there? Are we going to continue making a lower high and continue the downtrend? Oh, we are? Interesting. Boom. Let's talk about it. So that's the downtrend right in there. I'm also going to screenshot this. Pretty solid. Boom. All right, and then I'm going to show you an example on the chart. First, let's lock that up. Not many downtrends in this chart. It's mainly uptrending, but there have been some times where price did move down. As we can see here, massive move down. Massive move down. Over 6,000 points to the downside. Even though this was a massive sell-off, the market still wanted to trend upward. Just keep that in mind, right? It's still gone. It's gone. But it does have its moments where it pulls back. And these are the best times to really start to look for entries and positioning, because buying when price is already up here, it's all the way up here. You can, and price, may continue from those areas. But when these types of moves happen, when price sells off, that's going to be the time to really position in and, really stack that area for the next long-term hold, especially on the weekly time frame or the monthly or the daily. Those are pretty solid areas to be looking at, especially starting off, just to go ahead and get your foot in the door. But as we can see here, we have price making. First we have a high, and then a low, and then a lower high, a lower low, lower high, lower low. So as you can see, that is a pretty solid downtrend right in there. And you can even mark up some of the lows. You can mark up these lows. That's a low, right? If you understand the candlestick anatomy, you understand that that's a low. This is a low. Low here, or even this one. And even this down there. So, sell limits would have been here, and there's other areas that you could have used as well. Nice little sweeps, boom, entries. But essentially, this is a downtrend. Beautiful entries in here, sweeping liquidity, which we'll talk about in some of the later videos as well. But very clean entries in this downtrend. Very clean break of structure here. Price broke these lows. That was a confirmation that price wanted to go lower just based off the structure alone. So when we came back to retest these areas, we didn't quite make it here, but there were other factors like order blocks in here that allowed you to go ahead and potentially position yourself, right? That's also valid. You could have just used liquidity as was used here. We swept these highs and we didn't make new highs, confirming that this is truly a downtrend, especially breaking with such a nice imbalance to the downside. Very, very clean as well, or they call it fair value gaps, or all types of things these days. But at the end of the day, it's all imbued inside of the structure itself. And that's the beautiful thing about trading. There can't be a market without the structure. And as we see here, after breaking these lows right in there, we did come back for that beautiful retest, no drawdown. Also tapped into this imbalance. And again, these imbalances will be talked about in later videos as well. I know I'm kind of getting advanced, but this is the new and improved version, the 2025 version. You probably already watched the old videos, so watching this one is going to be a little bit different but better, because now you have a solid foundation as well. So that's a beautiful play on the downtrend. That's an example in the market as well. And as you participate in the Discord, you'll see more examples as we navigate and move through these markets together as a group. So that is the downtrend. I hope you got some value out of that. Let's get it.